This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
That might help us. I think I was muted. Yeah, I was definitely muted for all of that, which is hilarious. So let's get it rolling right here on the Joe Gaither Show. I'll just clip it and get us started on the production side. You can find us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify, on the podcast machine. You can find us at Joe Gaither 6 at MA Woods_. Welcome in. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. We're going to be talking about linebackers today. How about that? That's a little better. We're going to talk about linebackers today. You may have noticed that on the social media machines. Yeah, all our little fishing lions, but many people responded. So we'll take some of those comments and talk about them. We're going to play our interview with Deontae Lawson at SEC Media Days. We got about 4 minutes with Deontae. He gave us a lot of insight to his knee injury, and that's really what I was curious the most about. I hope he didn't walk away thinking, dang, all we wanted to talk about was my injury, but that's all I wanted to talk about, Deontae. I know how good of a player you are. I want to know what you're feeling inside the ears, in between the ears. Are you ready to go? So we'll play that in just a second. We'll lead the show with that. And then we will get into a voicemail. Dax sent us a voicemail responding to yesterday's voicemail with Hunter Brantley. And, man, this might be what we want to – I mean, this is what the eventual goal is, to create a loop of voicemails, callers and listeners responding to each other. Dax responding to Hunter Brantley's insinuation that the South Carolina Gamecocks are going to are disrespecting Alabama by making them the homecoming game. So that's kind of what's on tap today. Talking Alabama linebackers, listening to our interview with Deontae Lawson, responding to Hunter Brantley on the voicemail machine yesterday with a new voicemail. You can call it 205-462-7340, extension 800. If you want to leave us a voicemail, we appreciate you for listening to the show. Subscribe, rating, and reviewing the show. We're back live with Mason Woods, fresh off another day at Home Depot, making sure you have all your home improvement needs. Goodness gracious. Hot one yesterday, Mason. How we feeling?
Pretty good. Luckily, didn't have to be outside, so I didn't have to deal with most of it. Got to be out in the heat a bit this weekend. Played some golf for the first time in a very, very, very long time.
Where did you play? You texted me that. Where were you playing?
Frank House up in Bessemer. It was very, very cheap. It was only, I think, it didn't cost me like $42 to play around, rent clubs, get a cart, and then also for my wife, Melissa, to ride with me, which I don't know if they charged me a fee for that
Probably
or not.
not.
But yeah, regardless, pretty reasonably priced. I shot a 140. It was awful. Still am very sore. Sore in places I didn't realize I even had muscles, but I had a good time. Definitely will be going back. I've gotten the itch a little bit now. Got to get some clubs. That's what I'm on now.
Well, you can smack any my golf clubs in it whenever you want to. We can go out there, and I won't be any better.
Had a few good hits. That's what kept me there. I definitely the heat started to pile on around hole 12, 13, and then that combined with the frustration really upset me. So I was the back like third. I was in a bit of a bad mood, but there was a few in there where it was like, oh, okay, let's keep me going.
Yeah, that's the way you get a couple of them. You hit a nice putt, a nice chip, or you smack one down the middle, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I could be good at this." Don't worry, you can't be. Just go out there and enjoy it. You'll get marginally better for it, and it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you did that. That's great.
I definitely got a good workout, so it was worth it.
Oh yeah,
good Lord,
and your back and your hips,
everything.
You're right there in your hip flexors.
Yeah.
You're like, "What? Well, I didn't realize that there was a muscle there."
Yeah, you can ask Melissa. I was just basically like crawling around the house yesterday trying to get around. It was awful.
Oh, great. Well, welcome back to golf and welcome back to the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. Call Derek for all your insurance needs, 205-758-3391. Home, life, auto insurance. He's certainly helping me with my homeowner's insurance this past weekend. He was a big help getting me, hey, buddy, it's not a big problem. We'll get this handled with XYZ, ABC. A is first, B is second, and C is next, and we'll get it taken care of. And I'm proud to report that everything is back online in the house. Power, AC, refrigerator.
Not a good time to be losing AC.
Yeah.
I'm glad that got back quick.
Yep. So big thanks to everybody who helped out, but especially to Derek Daniel, State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. You can see him upstairs today, just past the Tiger Rock on the left, right here in Highway 69 North. Call him 205-758-3391. Well, Mason, I think we've wasted enough of the people's time. You want to go ahead and listen to our interview with Deontae Lawson. We got about 4 minutes with Deontae Lawson at SEC Media Days. I'm going to play it. We'll get out of the way, and we'll come back and respond.
Good to see you. You're looking good. Look better than Deontae Lawson. I'm Joe Gaither, Alabama Crimson Tide on SI. We deal with each other in the season. I'm happy to see you. You're looking good. Look better than you do in Mount Moore. So tell me about your piece.
I got a little lion piece. That's my spirit animal. Lion of the king of the jungle. And I got my 0 piece. That's just my number.
There you go. It's kind of a full circle moment for me. The first time I ever interviewed you was your last high school game at Mobile Christian. What's it mean to you now, these years later, to be representing the Crimson Tide at SEC Media Days?
Man, it means a lot. I'm truly blessed. I'm truly humbled to be in this position. I know I couldn't do it without my good Lord Jesus Christ, and my family behind me. They always been in my corner, supporting me every way they can, and it just means a lot being from Alabama and being a part of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I heard you downstairs call your knee 9 out of 10. I had 5 knee surgeries in high school, so we can relate just a little. You're a much better athlete, though. What's the hardest moment for you in recovery?
The hardest moment, I would say it's 2. I would say one of them will be just getting up and doing the rehab and not seeing results, but still having to apply yourself day in and day out. And then 2 is obviously the mental. You got to be able to conquer your mind and have trust and confidence in it. And, that's a whole nother ball game. So, those have been the two toughest things, but I think I'm overcoming it well.
If you had to give someone advice on how to be more mentally tough as you're overcoming your knee, what would you say?
I would say that you have to know that it's going to get better later. It's not always going to be peaches and rainbows every day, but some days you're not going to be feeling it, and you're not going to be where you want to be in life or anything like that. But all you can do is, when you look in the mirror at night, know that you gave it everything you got that day. And I think if you continue to stack days like that, you'll eventually get to where you want to be.
Deontae, we're all excited about Deontae Lawson, Justin Jefferson, and Nikai Hill-Green. Who's going to be the unsung hero of this Alabama defense this year?
Unsung hero. Man, I think the defensive line. I think like Tim Keenan, James Smith, those guys on the D line, man. I think those guys are gonna play a huge factor in our defense, and our ability to be able to shut down someone's passing game because they get into the passer so fast, or stopping the run. And man, I'm just excited for this defense, to be honest. And I'm just just ready to see where it takes us.
All right, last one for me. They give me the wrap-up sign. What's it going to be like for you playing your final season in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing, man. I'm gonna make sure I take full advantage of every opportunity, and it's just an honor to go in that stadium when we have a home game and be able to put that crimson on and that crimson 8. It's always a different feeling for me, and I don't take it lightly at all. And man, I'm excited. I know this is the last one, but got to go out with a bang.
Absolutely. He's Mobile Christian's own Agent Zero, Deontae Lawson, right there in the middle for Alabama's defense. Deontae, thank you so much. Best of luck with everything.
Yes,
We're really thinking about you. Can't wait to see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let me unmute right there so we don't make that mistake again. That's Deontae Lawson. Mason Woods, what you think about the Mobile Christian linebacker?
Agent Zero. That's the sweetest nickname, by the way. Oh, it's so cool. I tell you, the first right off the bat that jumped out to me from that, just very brief interview there is, I'm encouraged that there is no bit of physical lingering, ailments that he's worried about. It's all kind of above the shoulders. It's all right. Do I feel confident in my knee enough? Do I have the mental, kind of ability to flip that, and realize, okay, I'm not hurt anymore. I can go do this at full strength. And yes, that is a hurdle for athletes to overcome. That is difficult for a lot of them, but I think it's just so different than if he.
Quick, because I just swapped us over to the other internet. All right, you were in the middle of saying his mental.
Yeah, I mean, I was encouraged by hearing that it's not necessarily any bit of physical thing still affecting him. There's no bit of soreness. There's no oh, I tweaked it. There's no, oh, I'm still worried about planting. It's all kind of above the shoulders. It's all mental, which is a big hurdle for a lot of athletes. It can be difficult to overcome, can be a thing that a lot of athletes struggled with. We've certainly seen it from people. But it's just different. It's a different way you attack it than if it was still a physical thing. Then, I think it's, I don't want to say easier, but it's just different. I feel more confident that he can overcome that than if it was still a lingering physical issue.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing with him this year is, will he be, I fully believe, November to August is a tight window.
Sure.
December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August is right at 9 months. And that's the timeline. 9 months is the timeline.
It's tight.
Oh, yeah. My biggest concern is, I alluded to it just a little bit yesterday, is when we get to fall camp next week, if he has a step,
sure,
and tweak,
that's all it takes.
And I'm coming to the sidelines. Like, he's not going to be hurt, but this is what happens with a knee.
Yeah,
you take a step, you get a tweak, and it swells up for a day, and you got to let it dissipate, and then you get back out there, and it's those little twinges that you're feeling like, oh, am I actually right? You got to trust it. Now, this Alabama coaching staff, the training staff, top notch.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to take care of him. But will he be able to just, okay, because one of those days is going to happen in camp.
Sure.
It's just going to happen in camp, especially with where he is in the timeline. It's going to have a tweak somewhere just a little bit and swell up for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And will the Jeff Allen and their staff, will they, be able to talk him into, yeah, it's fine, bro. This is just part of recovery. Yeah. It's fine. It's no problem. You're okay. Come, ice it down today. Will he, with the coaching staff, really, ease him in?
That's what I'm interested to see if there's any, I don't, not that we will hear directly. Deontae Lawson is on a snap limit, but we'll be able to maybe observe it a little bit if we get any bit of time seeing practice, or obviously when week 1 when they play Florida State, you'll be able to observe it. Like I'm interested to see if he's on any bit of limit, just to ease him back into it. Just say, hey, buddy, look, Florida State, good program, short program, but we feel pretty good about this one. We don't need you out there being 5-star Deontae Lawson, best player in the state, the guy we needed on our team. We just need you to get your feet wet and get back comfortable. So I think that would. I certainly hope that maybe that's the route they take, just to ease him back into it, because I will always probably go for caution over sending players out there. We'll just have to see, though. it's all seemingly like it's all sound like it's going to be a mental thing with him, and that it's not necessarily any physical stuff. Like it seems like the recovery is going well.
It's a mental thing for all of us, Mason. Definitely a mental thing for all of us. I think we're all a bit more capable physically than we even think. So I'm excited to see Deontae Lawson this year, and I'm really hopeful that he's able to bounce on back.
Yeah, I think my biggest concern is, like you said, a fall camp, tweaking the knee, and then it's like, okay, you got to sit out for a day or two, and then it's okay, you come back, you're 90%. And then we just get dwindling. Oh, you're 88% week 2. Oh, you're 85% week 3 until we get to the point where he's out there playing hurt. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him rushed back and then have to play the entire season where he's hurt, not injured, but hurt.
So I took the Alabama position preview today, and it was on linebackers. So if you want to read about the Alabama linebackers, you can on BamaCentral.com. Alabama Crimson Tide on SI. Next week, I've got offensive line as well.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, like Katie sent the list of positions, and Katie knocked out running backs yesterday. So great job, Katie. And she's going to knock out defensive linemen today. Or excuse me, she's going to knock out defensive linemen tomorrow.
Deontae Lawson's unsung heroes.
Right. And so, she's going to knock those two out before she walks the aisle on Saturday. So
that's a grind right there.
Golly. I told her, we were texting about like assignments, and I was like, you need to pick first. you need to pick first what you want. And I was like, do you want linebackers on Tuesday just to knock them on out and be done? No, I want defensive line. I said, great, no problem. You need to pick first. So congratulations to Katie and Tony Sakalis. Ooh, cannot wait for that on Saturday. But as soon as I got the next pick up, I'm like, offensive line on Tuesday, next Tuesday, yes. So I have linebackers today, and we wrote about a little snippet on every linebacker. Basically previewing the group. I think that your inside linebackers and your Wolf have a very interesting is dichotomy the right word? Whereas you got 3 senior linebackers in the inside linebacker room, and then behind it, it's no disrespect, but it's a bunch of kids.
Sure.
Right? And then your Wolf room, you've got 2 veteran guys, and really Russaw is a veteran, but not an old man.
Mm-hmm.
But you got an old man in Jamarian Latham, the only 6-year player. Now, Jamarian's going to bounce between Wolf and Bandit. Just depends on the week, I think. But you've got 6th-year player, Jamarian Latham, and Quay Russaw. And then behind it is a bunch of unknowns, a bunch of kids.
Sure.
Yanzi Pierre, I'm in love with. I've always loved Yanzi Pierre, but hasn't quite broken out yet. Didn't get as much time. I mean, obviously last year you're playing in the Q Robinson room and the Quay Russaw room, so like not as much opportunity to get on the field, and a little Keanu Coat room as well. So this year it's basically the Quay Russaw and them boys, and so it's basically Quay Russaw, Jamarian Latham, and Yanzi Pierre. This is your chance, my guy. This is your former 5-star. You fall to Alabama. Apparently, Deontae was praised Yanzi just a little bit at SEC Media Days for his work. He said he thinks he's up to about 250 pounds and has been working hard.
Big man.
I think the talent is extremely high in the Wolf room, and the experience is not. I mean, the dichotomy is you got the top line guys are experienced and talented. But behind them, in both the inside linebacker room and in the Wolf room, behind them, you've got a lot of question marks. Is Yanzi Pierre ready to take on a little bit bigger role? Is Justin Hill going to be anything? Is Noah Carter? I mean, we cannot forget about Noah Carter. He commits to the staff, signs with Washington, gets out of his letter of intent before coming to Tuscaloosa. Played in 3-4 games last year, didn't get a whole lot of time, but a lot of special teams work. Is Noah Carter going to blossom into, a small-time, part-time contributor? You're not going to need him to do much, but, oh, my Lord, injuries might happen. And if that happens, you are looking at, guys needing to step up. Obviously, we don't cheer for anybody to be injured on any team, but we know the game of football is just
inevitable.
Yes, exactly. And so what happens if you have to go to the second line guys, that's where I'm
question marks are.
fairly concerned.
Yeah, I mean that is, I think, objectively speaking, that's where your question marks are with this defense. You feel real good about probably 6 guys here, but after that, anybody goes down, it's like, we're starting to get into we're putting some question marks on the field now. A lot of these question marks, you put an asterisk beside that question mark because this is a former 4 or 5-star recruit, probably one of the highest rated players at their position. So, take that as you will, but they still have not really seen the field much at this level. And it is a massive jump from high school to especially SEC football. So it's just kind of projection. We kind of have to let the cards fall as they will and just see what's going to happen with this linebacker room. Like I said, I feel really good about the 6 guys at the top. Deontae Lawson, Gaither Green, I think is a good player. Bringing him in for Colorado, just another veteran presence. Justin Jefferson, Abdul Sanders, Quay Russaw, and Jamarian Latham. I like all of those guys. But after that, you do have some serious question marks. Not necessarily from a talent perspective, but just from an experience one.
All right, I'm going to head over to the Facebook machine, the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. I put this out last night. What do you think about the linebacker room? Justin Walker, one-word answer, love it, loaded. David Newberry, give me a sentence or two. A lot of really good veterans rolling out of eligibility and a gap to the young guys. They need to grow fast, but our starters should be elite. And our friend Katie Wyndham, veteran heavy. Very good, very good. On the Twitter machine, Mason Woods, we put it out, same thing. Dax, the real question is, why are you awake? Aside from that, I'm comfortable with it. Seniority in the starters, a very good talent backing them up, in for a B+ year, if not higher, from them. JRB3, I wasn't impressed with the returners last year. The best linebacker play I saw will be in South Carolina wearing the wrong uniform. Justin Okoronkwo. Oh, he's right. I missed.
That's a tough one.
What an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
What an athlete, and for a kid who was barely getting into football.
Yeah.
I think the transfer will be really productive. He finishes. And then I love this one from John. John at UA Live 15. He just sent a picture of the linebacker room and said, looks pretty good to me.
Love it.
Yes, it's a beautiful room. Beautiful chairs, great artwork on the wall. Looks great.
This is good.
I'm a big fan of that answer as well. I got 2 quote tweets to go to. Let's see a few quotes. We got a real name Grover. Hate seeing the German kid leave, but looking forward to seeing 3 senior inside linebackers with 3 different skill sets. Outside is Quay and the guys right now. I think that's a
Quay
good...
and them boys.
Yeah, that's right. And I am a writer. Jay Donda quote tweets me and says it may be, quote, the weakest group and is still plenty good enough to win a championship. Defense is loaded.
I don't disagree with many of these people's sentiment. I think if you had to label one of these position groups on this team as the weakest, this might be the one that you look at. But that is not to say that it is a weak position group. It is still very loaded. Now, it's a little top-heavy, mind you, but it's real loaded at the top.
So I'm excited about the linebacker room. I think that, all right, past the first 3 interior guys, Justin Jefferson, Deontae Lawson, and Nikai Hill Green. Mm-hmm. Who is the young boy? Because Caden Jones is a sophomore, and the rest of them are basically freshmen. QB Reese, redshirt freshman, right out of Ramsey High School, Ramsey Ram. And then you got 3 incoming freshmen, Abdul Sanders, Luke Metz, and Duke Johnson. Who's the number one I want to see this guy play?
I mean, I want to see Abdul Sanders play. Watching what he did in high school, you watch the huddle film, and it was very, very, very impressive. I don't even know if I can say very enough. Like, it's super, super impressive what he did. And I want to see that on the field. Now, do I necessarily think that that's going to happen? Maybe not. I expect maybe Caden Jones to get the nod there, being the guy who's got a little bit of seniority at least. I do think Abdul Sanders will get on the field, though. I just don't know that it's necessarily going to be any bit of, a ton of play, unless he really, really, is impactful in the limited bit he gets early in the season. But that's probably the pick I'd make.
Our man Everett Osmer on the Facebook machines complimenting your hat, Mason.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so it says you got a nice hat and call him BamaCentral #1. We love you, Everett. Thank you so much for being all watching the show. And,
I was
and
fired up
commenting.
about the Titans this weekend.
Tighten up.
You see, I don't know if you saw the video they put out of Cam Ward doing a little trash talking to Jeffrey Simmons. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
I saw a comment or just a little, I don't know if it was a tweet or what, that Cam Ward is the least talked about #1 pick in however many years.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Yep. I mean, they spent the entire draft talking about a player that was not drafted until the 5th round. He still has not done any bit of he hasn't made his rounds on the shows. He hasn't done Good Morning Football or anything. He hasn't been on ESPN really. He hasn't done on any of the he is very, very not talked about. I think a little bit of that is his own doing because he probably is just accepting. All right, that's cool. I'm not going to talk to any media because I think he's a bit of a quiet guy. But also, people do not like talking about the Titans very much. I don't believe.
Tighten up.
Not a lot of fans, seemingly. That's what they lead you to believe. They're lying.
My girlfriend Carrie Simpson said that she needs to get you to a game.
I got to go to one. Yeah, I would like to get to one before they demolish Nissan Stadium, but
she doesn't want.
My time is
done with
dwindling
Nissan.
for that.
She's done with that.
I got to see one, and I got to see one there.
Yeah, you do. You have to. The stadium up there is under construction. Yeah. And it's right next to Nissan. It looks like it's going to be a monster.
It'll be cool. I'm still annoyed that they just made it look like every other modern stadium now. You're the Titans. You could have done this cool, old Greek architecture thing, but no, they just made it look just a bunch of boxes and stuff, which is fine. Whatever. It'll be cool.
Well, tighten up indeed. So we'll see what they end up doing. I like your hat as well. I think the linebacker. So you said Abdul Sanders.
Yeah.
I think Abdul is a good pick, but to go a different way, I'm between Caden and Luke Metz. Maybe biased because Luke was on the show, but as a recruit, maybe biased because Luke was on the show, and Caden was too. Caden definitely was. So I got both of those guys on the show at different points. So if you want to hear interviews with those guys, you can just type in Caden Jones, Joe Gaither, it'll pop up. Luke Metz, Joe Gaither, it'll pop up. I think that Caden's more athletic than people think. I mean, 6'4", big guy. 6'4". I'm intrigued to see what he does with the Alabama defense. And then Luke Metz just seems like a banger. He just seems like just see ball, get ball. I don't care about my body. I'm gonna go right through you to make a play. So I'm excited about that. So let's move to the Wolf Room. Quay is obviously getting all the time.
Yeah.
If you've got to give some shine to Yanzi Pierre, Noah Carter, or Justin Hill, what's Coach Woods doing?
I mean, again, I'm intrigued by the freshman. It's just the mystique is so alluring. We haven't seen him yet, and he's put on 20 pounds since he got to campus. He was listed in his senior year at 220. Now he's listed on the roster at 242. So
the peanut butter sandwich is going hard.
The physical transformation, I want to see it pay off for him. And, we heard rumblings that he was doing really well throughout the spring, I believe. So I want to see it come to fruition on the field. Now, again, I think he's probably in a similar situation to Abdul Sanders, where other players are going to get the nod. Noah Carter, Yanzi Pierre having a little bit of seniority over him. But I think Justin Hill carves a place out for himself within this defense, maybe as a bit of a specialist.
I'm pulling for Yanzi. 5-star, former 5-star, been here a couple years. I'm pulling for Yanzi Pierre. That's. I mean, obviously, I think you're not unseating Quay Rousseau, and they're going to use Jamarian Latham either at Bandit or Wolf, and a good mixture of both. Just depends on the week, and depends on the packages. What if they're down on the goal line, we need to stop the edge. We need to stop the run, not get pushed around a little bit. Jamarian Latham's going to get some run. But if I get my choice of just one of the backups to really get some run, I want to see Yanzi Pierre break out this year. I want to see Yanzi Pierre get himself a 4-sack season, a 3-sack season, break up a fumble, and walk away from the year feeling like he's got a real role with he and Quay Rousseau as redshirt juniors the next year. Because Jamarian Latham's going to be moving on after the year, you think, unless he gets another year of eligibility.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. It could, though. Hey, you never know. Just sue the NCAA. You might get it.
Just sue him, baby. Sue him into oblivion.
Is QB Reese kind of the odd man out in this room?
For now, but I think QB Reese, the trait that QB has that will keep him going is everything that when you bring up his name, you just hear hard worker, hard worker, hard worker.
I get you far in life.
And I think that he might be one of those types that is here on the roster for a handful of years that, he's still here. But by the time it's, QB Reese is a redshirt senior. I think that he does have a path in the future to getting on the field. But yeah, right now, odd man out in a big way.
Yeah.
A
little bit undersized. That
right.
does not play in his favor.
A little bit undersized,
224.
but I think he's also got the Luke Metz angle of just like, I don't care.
I'm going to turn my brain off and play some football.
Yes. I don't brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm going through it. And I think that he's one of the types, I think this is often overlooked and and really undersold, but I think he's one of the types that says, I'm wearing Alabama on my chest and I'm gonna die for the Tide, basically, and so I think that will serve him in the future. Do I see him getting time this year? Not really. I see him being
special teams, sure, yeah.
Yes, I see him getting on special teams.
I'll be laying some hits on special teams.
Yes, I'm gonna fly down on punt coverage and whoever
we'll have a few QB Reese clips this year.
You better fair catch it, sir. So I do think he's a type that if he stays the course, will end up becoming a fan favorite type because of how much he works and how dedicated he is to the program. And by the time it is his time to be on the field, I think he'll be Tim Keenan. Every time his name comes out of Tim Keenan's mouth, it's oh man, he's going to be so good. Oh man, he's working so hard. Oh, his progression, everything that he's done the last year has been. He's taken a huge step forward. Well, I think a huge step forward was important for him, but I think he probably needs about 2 more huge step forwards just as a player, which I don't see as impossible. I just think that it's going to take a little more time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that seems fair.
All right, Mason, we've been burning the rubber here on the Joe Gaither Show. We want to take a quick pivot to yesterday's show. Before we do, we want to remind everybody we're brought to you by Derek Daniels State Farm Insurance. We're right here off McFarland Boulevard, Highway 69 North, just past the Tiger Rock, just past the Rustic Rehab on the left. Call Derek for your insurance needs, 205-758-3391. Home insurance, life insurance, auto insurance. I know Derek is hiring as well. He put out a little message. He's hiring. So if you want to sell insurance, if you want to break into the insurance game, this is the path to becoming a State Farm agent. So like if you want your name on the building one day, this is the path. I worked for him for about 6 months. He was a great boss, very patient with someone who struggled to sell insurance. I'll say that. But Derek will help you get licensed property and casualty and life insurance. He'll help you get licensed, and you can sell insurance right out of the building, right upstairs. And maybe there's a different role that he's hiring for. We didn't get specific on that, but I just know that Derek is hiring. So if you're looking for a job, or if you're looking for insurance, call Derek 205-758-3391. You can't find a better boss, and you can't find a better insurance agent. He was up and at him on Sunday morning, but with the rooster. I wanted to say something inappropriate, but it was that early on Sunday morning that Derek was like, yeah, man, you got this issue. Let me do this, do that, do this. Let me know what this person says. Let me know what that person says. Call me when you finish this. We'll get it taken care of. And here we are on Tuesday morning, and everything's back online after a Saturday night emergency at the Joe Gaither household. So Derek Daniels State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, he was there for me. He will be there for you as well. All right, so I wanted to spin us back to the voicemail line because Hunter Brantley gave us a topic yesterday, said that the South Carolina Gamecocks were disrespecting the Crimson Tide by scheduling the Crimson Tide for their homecoming game. I know that I have a voicemail from Dax responding to that. You can respond to that, to the linebacker conversation, bring your own conversation, whatever you want to talk about at 205-462-7340, extension 800. Here is Dax.
Guys, it is Dax. So I'm listening to the Monday show. On Monday, of course, and Hunter Brantley with his voicemail comes in with the Theo mockery. Holy crap, that was hilarious, I'm going to be honest. Although I am on Theo's side, that it is a weak mentality to not schedule somebody like us for homecoming, but that also is extremely, I count it as disrespectful because, always growing up, every homecoming game that we've ever played is somebody's absolutely weak sauce. And I think that the players are going to take that as disrespect. Like, really? South Carolina, you want to schedule us for homecoming? So I'm officially changing my prediction from, I think this was like a month or two ago that I did the way too early schedule prediction. I still think we're going to go 11-1. I am changing the loss from South Carolina to Georgia because I want to say we're going to go undefeated, but like I can't say that we're going to go undefeated because that is just way too bold of a take. And I understand some of my takes are really, really bold, but not this one. So I'm going to change the loss from South Carolina to
Before we finish, we like bold takes, Dax. Keep going.
Georgia because I did not realize that they had scheduled us for homecoming, and I just really think our players are going to take that as disrespect. Can't wait to hear what y'all got to think about that. Harping on this topic 2 days in a row. But it's whatever. I just thought I'd let y'all know that Hunter Brantley, that was funny, and I appreciate the laugh. Y'all have a good one, and roll tide.
Roll tide. Dax on the voicemail machine, 205-462-7340, extension 800.
Now, I am not very privy to the process of selecting a homecoming game. But how much control do these schools really have over it? Because they don't really have any control over the schedule. I mean, you got to pick one of the home games, and you kind of got to pick it somewhere in the middle of the season because you can't have it at the end. You can't have it right at the beginning. It's like their hands are kind of handcuffed here. They kind of had to pick Alabama. Like it's you don't want to pick a non-competitive game that nobody's going to show up to. So you have to pick a game where people will be there. Everybody's going to be there for Alabama week. I understand how the team will probably flip it into they choose you for homecoming because they think they can beat you. Disrespect. But I don't really think that was ever any bit of intent behind it. I think it's more just South Carolina was handcuffed a bit and was kind of forced between what I imagine were Alabama and probably two much worse options for their homecoming game.
Yeah, it's basically the week earlier, they have Oklahoma at home.
Okay, well, that one would have been all right.
But then you have Alabama at home, and then there was something they're on the road. They get a bye week, and then they come back, and it's like Coastal Carolina or something. Before
so
is the only other option.
I'd maybe give you Oklahoma, but even then, if we're going here, we're comparing baskets. Like who's a bigger draw, Alabama or Oklahoma right now? People are coming to watch Alabama play, whether it's South Carolina fans or not. That stadium's going to be full, and that's what you want on homecoming weekend.
That's what Theo's take was, basically. He was like, well, if all the alumni are coming back anyways to watch South Carolina, Alabama, you may as well schedule all your activities right then and there.
I understand it. I do not believe that there was any semblance of, we feel pretty good that we can beat Alabama. Let's schedule them for homecoming. They probably feel good that they can beat Alabama just because they're confident as a program. And why would you think you can't beat a team? But I don't think that at all went into the decision to make this homecoming.
Shane Beamer said that he's not going to get it done.
No, I don't believe he will either.
Shane Beamer's not going to get it done. I don't believe.
I think they will probably lose that game and then go on a tear for the end of the season. Just so they have that same argument at the end. Well, look at how good we are. We're the best team. We've been the best team over the last 6 weeks. And it's like, well, remember when Alabama beat you by 21 at home? And they'll conveniently forget that.
Is Justin Okoronkwo, is he going to start?
I'm not sure.
He's second on the depth chart. He's second on the depth chart according to our lads, which obviously that doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
But you got 3 starters listed ahead of him. Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy's an Alabama transfer too, isn't he?
That name certainly sounds familiar.
Yes, he. Am I just making that up?
So he's maybe also played at Florida State?
Right. He came by way of Alabama to Florida State to South Carolina. Ooh. Wow. Okay, great. Yes, that is the same Sean Murphy at South Carolina by way of Florida State and Alabama. Listed ahead of Okoronkwo on the depth chart. You got Fred Johnson and Brandon Cisse all listed as your starting 3 linebackers for the Gamecocks. And then Justin Okoronkwo, oh my gosh, be still my heart. What an athlete. What a boomer. I was really excited about him last year as a true freshman. And then you look at this room, the room. Justin Jefferson comes back. Deontae Lawson comes back. You go get Nikhai Hill-Green
out a little bit.
And I think he's a little bit advanced in his own age for where he's an older sophomore because coming from Germany. So I think he was like, I got to get on the field and show these NFL teams ASAP. I can't
fault him for that. I mean, if people, I'm sure Alabama fans are still upset about him transferring to another SEC school, but like, you just laid it all out right there. It's just kind of is what it is. He is in a situation where he was, if I had to guess, probably like a 19-year-old freshman, if not maybe a little older.
I think he was 20.
So, the clock's ticking, buddy. NFL teams don't want to draft a 26-year-old rookie. Just is what it is.
So we appreciate Dax on the voicemail line. I don't know if it was disrespect. I think it was just a matter of we either got to choose Oklahoma or Alabama, and they're all going to be coming home anyways for Alabama.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. I think it just boiled down to who's going to get more butts in seats. Alabama.
Lenoris at SEC Media Days, I asked him what he thought about Sandstorm. He goes, man, I love it.
That's good.
I'm sure you do.
I mean, does it even matter, like, winning homecoming? Does it really matter that much?
No.
I mean, from a pride perspective, obviously everybody wants to win, but it's not affecting the school's bottom line whatsoever. You're not going to get a bonus for winning your homecoming game. So just schedule a team that's going to get a bunch of people there.
We got a comment on the YouTube machine because I did clip our 12-minute segment. I clipped Hunter's voicemail, kind of setting it up, and mine and Theo and myself's reaction. Theo and I's reaction to the voicemail. It was 12 and a half minutes, and you got Xavier Hill commented, October 25th, history repeats itself. And I thought, what? The last time that Alabama was over there, September 14, 2019, Najee Harris goes absolutely ape just.
That was the hurdle and then go on for the touchdown, if I remember.
Yeah. 4th and something out of the backfield, 4th and 1, 4th and 3. He comes out, he leaks out of the backfield, catches the ball, spin move, hurdle, goodbye.
One of the best highlights I've maybe ever seen.
Najee.
It's just a singular clip. Whew.
Najee's a top 5 Alabama player for me ever.
He definitely does not get the respect that I feel he deserves.
Just in my own heart, just in my own preferences.
I mean, even from production, he was one of the most productive backs this program has ever seen.
He
the most productive back this program has ever seen.
All-time leader in yards.
I think people want to maybe disparage him a bit because he spent a little longer here than some of the other guys did, and maybe his top end was not the same as the Derrick Henry.
Play him as a freshman.
Bingo. Najee doesn't get his flowers enough. I hope that he has as much as I really hate Harbaugh and don't want to see the Chargers succeed, I do hope that he has a very good season for them. If they could lose every game and he rushes for like 2,500 yards, that'd be sick.
First all-time in career rushing yards. He has the 5th highest single-season rushing yard record. He did not have a mark on the top 10 as far as a single game. Rushing touchdowns, first single season, 2 shy of Derrick Henry's at 26 for a single season. He has a 5-touchdown game, just like Sean Alexander and Santonio Beard. So he's right there, tied for first right there as well. Najee Harris. I
think Najee also just personally does not carry the A as much as some of the other guys do.
That's true. I mean, that's true.
Which is maybe why some fans do not like him as much.
We had a little on SI meeting last week at SEC Media Days, and the guy asked me, who's your favorite Alabama player of all time? And I was like, okay, Jalen 1. I think Najee. I think Pat Surtain. I think Rolando McClain, 5. I got one more. Golly, Mark Ingram, 5. Mark Ingram, 5. And obviously, I'm a young boy, so I'm not as old as everybody thinks I am. Basically, yeah. Is that my 5? Surtain definitely is in there. Najee and Jalen Hurts definitely in there. My next 2 are up for debate by far. My next 2, I mean, you can go Derek Thomas for sure. You can go Leroy Jordan if you want to look old and smart. You can say Johnny Musso if you want to look old and smart, but we want to be authentic right here more than looking old and smart. I think that Oh, Eddie Jackson. Okay, we'll slip Eddie Jackson in over. We'll slip
Minka.
I'm gonna
always
slip.
loved
I'm gonna
Minka.
slip Eddie Jackson in over Rolando as 4. So my fifth is my fifth is probably gonna be Mark Ingram. Yeah,
I got to get Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's my 1-1. And it's mostly because of what he did after Alabama with the Titans as well, right? Just got to watch him continue to be as dominant as he was at Alabama. So it really like cemented him as one of my favorite players. I got to get Ferrari Foster in there, though. Reuben Foster, absolute stud. We're not going to, we're talking about purely on the field production, what they did on the between the white lines on the football field, favorite players. I don't necessarily condone much of what he did off the field in some of those controversies that he had, but as far as what he did on the field, the guy was absolutely electric. An incredible linebacker. Same with Rolando McClain, another guy that I loved when he was at Alabama. The first guy that I ever got a jersey for, DJ Hall 22 jersey, that very conveniently turned into a Mark Ingram jersey quickly thereafter.
DJ Hall, single game record for reception in a game, right? Like 14, 20, something like that.
He was awesome.
Against Tennessee.
That dude, he was awesome. I loved watching him when I was probably 7 or 8 or something like that. But man, if I had to throw a quarterback in there,
Deontae topped him in 2020.
That checks out.
In 2013, he had 13 receptions. DJ Hall against Tennessee. Deontae 15 against Florida in the SEC championship game in 2020.
Golly, I'd have a hard time not putting Smitty in there. There's just so many, and quarterbacks. I loved Tua when he was here. Obviously, Jalen Hurts. It would be very, very hard to narrow it down to 5, but I think I can firmly say that Derrick Henry is my 1-1.
Well, Mason, let's start to land this plane. We've had a little fun today. Tomorrow, we're going to play Tim Keenan's interview. Yesterday, Caden Proctor. Today, Deontae Lawson. Tomorrow, Tim Keenan. We got a little recruiting that's on deck today. So why don't you talk about that, and I'll set up the rest of the week, because I think I have guests lined up for Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, we are hopefully looking at a commitment from 4-star quarterback Taden Kawa from Orem, Utah, originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, transferred to Utah ahead of his junior season this past year. From everything I've seen, all signs are pointing toward Alabama. He was expected to commit yesterday. The news comes out Sunday that he's going to be committing yesterday. And then, as the day progresses, no decision comes forth. So now it seems like he's maybe pushed it back a day. I'm seeing that supposedly it is coming today. So we will just have to see. Like I said, all signs are pointing toward Alabama. I think he's a really talented player, 6'4", 235. Like I said, quarterback, stands tall in the pocket, kind of a similar skill set to Jet Tamala, big arm, can make a lot of throws. He made I don't want to say secret, but he kind of kept it secret, didn't post any photos or anything. He's very not active on social media, has not responded to anything that I've tried to reach out. Our other recruiting writer, Henry Sklar, tried to reach out to his football coach, could not get a response either. So, I think he just keeps a lot of things close to his chest, maybe similar to some of the other Hawaiian prospects that have come to Alabama before. But I think he's going to be picking Alabama. Like I said, was here for a visit on June 21st, but didn't post about it or anything. Just had to find it on the message boards there. I really like this guy. Like with Jet Tamala, I don't necessarily see the path for him getting on the field that much at Alabama, so much as him just being kind of an insurance policy for if, knock on wood, something horrible were to happen to Austin Mack or Keelan Russell.
Well, somebody's going to play the year after they leave.
Sure. And it could be one of these guys. I do like, he threw for 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, completed over 60% of his passes last year, led his team to a 9-3 record, lost in the semifinals. So, should get Alabama a second quarterback commit of the 26th class. And I imagine you will be probably finished at that position, and then can turn your attention to the biggest name that we are still looking for, 5-star edge rusher, Anthony Tank Jones.
Tank, make the right decision and make it ASAP. We're tired of waiting.
We are tired of waiting.
No, I'm just kidding. Do your thing.
I'll wait as long as you need me to.
Do your thing, young man. We'll see you on December.
You can announce in December if you want to.
Yeah, what is it? December 15? Is that
so?
Yeah, we'll see you then. We'll see you on December 15 or so. Let's make sure that's the right date. NCAA football December signing day is what?
What was it saying?
December 4.
Hey, that actually works out pretty well, Give me earlier in the month.
Yeah, December 4 is what this looks like. December 4 to Friday, December 6 is the early signing window.
I love that, actually. That works out super well. A little behind-the-scenes action. Me and Melissa are potentially planning a trip at some point in the month of December, so that might work out pretty well for me there.
There you go. So that's great. Looks like it's December 4. Let's find out for sure. College football signing day. When is signing day? December. Okay, thank you. Thank you, USA Today, for all your pop-ups. Yeah, I think it is in early December then. Great. So won't have to wait that long.
Still miss the days of just the one signing day, but I'll take moving it around a little bit and getting us a little earlier in the month of December so it's not coinciding with all of the end of the month festivities.
Oh, the bowl
things.
Game stuff, bowl prep and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. They give these coaches a little break. I mean, I know they're making millions and billions and trillions of dollars, but like, golly, yeah, it looks like this coming year is Wednesday, December 4. A change to the Division I recruiting calendar, moved up 2 weeks. It's the earliest in history. Great, perfect.
That's good.
So you're set.
I'm all for this.
All right. What are we doing the rest of the week? We're going to be playing Tim Keenan's interview tomorrow. Thursday, we have a verbal commitment to be joined by AL.com's Matt Stahl. Big fan of Matt. I think that he embodies the spirit of the show. Fun and smart, funny and smart. Obviously, that's the goal. You guys can let me know if we are funny or smart. But that is the goal of the show. I think he embodies that. So we have a verbal commitment to be joined by Matt Stahl Thursday. And we have a verbal commitment to be joined by Alabama linebacking commit Zay Hall in the studio.
Wow.
He said he would come up here. Obviously, Hillcrest High School by way of Paul Bryant High School. I told him where the studio was. And I said, you want to do by link or in person? He said, I'll come up there. And so, Friday might be a fun day to meet Zay Hall in person, and we're going to have a lot of fun the rest of the week. We appreciate everybody who has joined us, who puts up with our shenanigans. Hopefully, we were a little funny and a little smart today, and you guys have a great week. We're going to have a great week on the Joe Gaither Show. It's coming soon, guys. It's coming real soon. Next Wednesday is camp.
Man.
Oh,
a good friend of mine works at a factory that makes plastic bottles. And they just got in the Dr. Pepper labels that have the Fansville stuff across the top. He was sending us all videos of them saying, boys, it's coming.
Very soon. 39 days away from kickoff. And next Wednesday is the start of fall camp.
The long drought is over.
We're supposed to be talking off the record to one Kalen DeBoer on Tuesday. They're going to have a sit down just like last year, kind of sets everything up, kind of says, these are the rules this year. And these are, some topics you want to touch on, but that's going to be a lot of fun. So it's right around the corner. So we'll see you tomorrow on the Joe Gaither Show. We're going to talk about Tim Keenan. We're going to play their interview. Katie Wyndham is going to have a Bama defensive lineman position preview, so we can chat about that. And we'll take your comments at Joe Gaither 6 at MA Woods _ on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. We'll take your voicemails at 205-462-7340, extension 800. And we'll talk to you tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.